necessarily. The war has to be covered from Saigon, and that's why we have provisions for a press corps there. As Mr. Laird pointed out yesterday and day before yesterday in his remarks on the subject, we had newsmen from all of the agencies with the troops. They were allowed to travel right along with them during their various movements and their redeployments, and the newsmen on the scene were aware of what was happening. They were asked and agreed not to foul stories until General Abrams felt, with the safety considerations for the troops being paramount, our troops, that they would be allowed to foul the stories. The embargo was lifted yesterday early, and the stories that have come out of Saigon were stories that did confirm the massing of troops in various areas, the movements of certain ones of our troops. It also confirmed that none of our troops our ground troops had moved into Laos, and this is what we had said all along, and we continue to say that none of our ground troops will move into Laos or Cambodia.
This is unit number 26 of the Dallas Transit System. It is a General Motors Dreamliner, but it is also 7 years old. It is one of the first ones purchased. It and 49 others are for sale. 35 of these Dreamliners are on their way to Honolulu, Hawaii. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but certainly eventually. We got this statement today from E.O. Cartwright, chairman of the DTS board.
The price agreed upon is approximately $600,000, which is the market price for this type of bus in a first-class state of maintenance, and is several $1,000s more than the depreciated value of the buses on the books of the system.
Is that good?
That's good.
But it's not quite that simple. A representative of the Amalgamated Transit Union Workers told me today they have filed a complaint with the Department of Labor that they want a revision of their grievance procedures. The Department of Transportation, also in Washington, will make a grant to the City of Dallas for replacement equipment, but not until the city's differences with the union and the Department of Labor are ironed out. And until that eventuality, these buses cannot and will not be sold to Honolulu. Honolulu wants the buses, and Dallas wants to sell. They'll go eventually. This is Jim Mitchell, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Well, the drug statutes in there, and in the McNaughton rule as far as insanity is concerned, and there's just several phases of it that too numerous to mention at this time that are objectionable to law enforcement, and I'm sure that we'll have many more when we get into it. Now, we know this, that we've operated under the present code for over 100 years. We know that there have been 5 years in the revision of this code down at the University of Texas Law School. And don't let the University of Texas Law School lead you astray, because it wasn't the law school that revised it. It was criminal attorneys and various other people were on the committee. And some of the committee that revised these penal code were the same committee men who revised the Code of Criminal Procedure in 1965.
This morning, we are announcing that Tarrant County Community Council and the City of Fort Worth are forming a partnership to further combat drug abuse. We are jointly naming and structuring a drug implementation committee. The committee will be composed of 8 members appointed by Tarrant County Community Council and 8 members by the city of Fort Worth. Jim?
Well, the committee that has been appointed, the implementation committee, has come from all walks of life in the community, and every segment of the community has been represented. This steering committee will have the responsibility of appointing 4 subcommittees in the area of control, prevention and education, treatment, and youth subcommittee. And these also will include youth on some of the committees. The survey, which has been completed, has taken 9 months and has delved into all areas of the drug abuse problem.
About 3 weeks ago in Washington, I appeared before the Health and Welfare Council, which is a part of the United Way, and it's what it's called in Washington. And someone there said to me, "Do you think USO is a viable organization?" And I said, absolutely, I think it's a viable organization, because if for no other reason, the very fact that that sign is there on the street, and any man in the military that goes in there recognizes immediately that that's his club, and that he comes in there, he is treated with friendliness, with dignity, and anything that he needs, the people in that club will try to do for him. And I think so long as USO can maintain that kind of an attitude toward any servicemen, that it's a viable, very much related organization to servicemen.
Gene, in this conference, it's always tough to win on the road, and I would suppose you're still looking back at how big that win over A&M was, particularly in overtime Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. It was a real big one for us because it was our first victory on the road, and we were beginning to, have a little doubts in ourselves whether we could win on the road, and it was becoming a mental thing. So it was a very big one for us.
Confidence, of course, is a key factor in coming out of a game like that. I'm sure that it gives you some momentum going into this Texas game tomorrow night.
Yes, sir, I would think so. We were behind late in the ball game, and we came back and won it in overtime, so it can't do anything but help us.
Of course, that's 2 in a row, You had a tough one here against Arkansas and won that one just at the end of the ball game.
Yes, sir. They say that you have to win the close ones in this to be in the conference race, so maybe we won our close ones and we can go on from here.
Gene, what is the biggest difference in this year's ball club, the fact that you are a contender now? Where has the improvement come?
I think it's more confidence in other players. Bobby Rollins has shot real well, and Larry Delzell has come along, and we've had better board strength inside. So I think it's just more of a rounded unit. We have more players that are playing this year.
Of course, you're resting in 3rd place now. TCU is unbeaten in conference play. Are you confident enough to think that you can overhaul them?
Yes, sir. It's a long way from being over. There's 9 games left, and we're only 2 games back. Plus, TCU has to come to our place to play, and they've got to go to a lot of other places where they'll have a hard time winning. So we're right in the thick of things.
How do you assess the Texas bunches coming in? You'll have a full house here at Moody Coliseum tomorrow night.
They have about as much ability as anybody in the conference. They've got players that are really tremendous. Lynn Howden and the junior college transfer, Jimmy Blacklock, they have a lot of ability, and it looks like they've put things together now, so it should be a real good ball game.
That we are having problems with this airplane, but we've had problems during the development of every airplane we've ever had, especially revolutionary airplanes, and the 111 certainly introduced some revolutionary features that were far ahead of the recognized state of the art at that time. And we are having highly publicized problems with the aircraft. But I have confidence in the technology and the people who provide the technology to do some such things, that they can solve the ills. We've had other airplanes that had troubles like this before. I can name one airplane that really had troubles and became affectionately known as the Thud. But fighter pilots who flew, and I met one of my young friends out there who flew from Takhli, who was in the Takhli outfit, and those guys would swore by that airplane, and they did some of the best pinpoint bombing and effective offensive work of this conflict that we've had over here.